Hey, welcome back to Reading Workshop Tips with Mrs. Lee. Today, Lindsay Lamacorn isn't here, but a special visitor is. If you're in UT Austin, this friend will look really familiar. It's Travis, right from our classroom, with his UT Longhorn shirt on. See him up there? That's where he's going to be, watching and reading along with us today. So today, we're going to be thinking about how the character in a story changes from the beginning to the end. Now, one of the reasons why this is really important is because when we are reading a book, oftentimes the character's feelings are going to change because of things that happen in the story. Understanding how the character's feelings change help us to understand the whole story better. Another reason why it's important that we stop to think about characters' feelings while we're reading is that when you're doing a retell, it's really important that you're not just including the most important events from the beginning, middle, and end, but also that you're including the character feelings in the beginning, the middle, and the end of the story. And I know many of you have been working on this in your reading conferences with your teachers. I know lots of UT scholars have been working on this with me. So today we're going to practice together. And then as you're doing your retells and reading your books on your own, this is something you should be thinking about and always including in your retells. So today we're going to read one of my favorite stories. Well, another one of my favorites. This story is called Jabari Jumps. As we read, we're going to be pausing to think about how he's feeling at the beginning, middle, and end of the story. Let's get started. Before we start reading, I also just want to remind you that right now is a great time to make sure that your YouTube notebook is open to this page. It should say 5/26 for May 26th, Reading Workshop with Mrs. Lee. And the top of the page should look just like what's on the screen now. It should say Character Changes. You're also going to need a pencil, so make sure you have a pencil with you. Jabari Jumps by Gaia Cornwall. I'm jumping off the diving board today, Jabari told his dad. Really? Said his dad. The diving board was high and maybe a little scary, but Jabari had finished his swimming lessons and passed his swim test, and now he was ready to jump. I'm a great jumper, said Jabari, so I'm not scared at all. Jabari watched the other kids climb the long ladder. They walked all the way out to the end of the board, as big as tiny bugs. Then they stood on the edge. They spread their arms and bent their knees and sprang up, up, up. And then they dove down, down, down. Splash! Looks easy, Jabari said. But when his dad squeezed his hand, Jabari squeezed back. So let's pause here for a second and think. How is Jabari feeling at the beginning of the story? What do you think? Yeah, I agree. I think he's feeling really excited because he's finished his swimming lessons, he's passed his swim test, and he says, I'm a great jumper. So I agree. So let's go back to our notebooks now and write down how Jabari is feeling at the beginning of the story. We said Jabari is excited to jump off the diving board. And of course, we could explain if we were doing a retell all the reasons why. He's excited because he's been doing his swim lessons and he's a good jumper. But we're going to just keep it short because we don't have a lot of space on our page. Go ahead and write this down now on your paper. You can pause the screen for a moment so that you can write it down, and then we'll continue reading. Jabari stood at the bottom of the ladder. He looked up. You can go before me if you want, he told the kid behind him. I need to think about what kind of special jump I'm going to do. Jabari thought and thought. So now we need to pause here. Remember when we talked about inferences? You might need to make an inference here. Why do you think he tells the other kids, you can go before me if you want? I thought he was excited, and if you're excited, wouldn't you want to be first? Can you think of a reason why he might be asking other people if they want to go first? Yeah, I agree. I'm thinking about times when maybe I was really excited about something, but then I get there and realize maybe it's going to be a little more scary than I expected. And then I think he wants a little more time maybe to work up his courage. Let's continue to think about how he's feeling now. Is he still feeling excited? Or now in the middle, is he starting to feel something different? Let's keep reading. Jabari started to climb up and up. This ladder is very tall, he thought. Are you okay? Called his dad. I'm just a little tired, said Jabari. Maybe you should climb down and take a tiny rest, said his dad. A tiny rest sounded like a good idea. When he got to the bottom, Jabari remembered something. I forgot to do my stretches, he said to his dad. Stretching is very important, said his dad. I think tomorrow might be a better day for jumping, Jabari said. They looked up at the diving board together. Well, now I definitely feel like in the middle of the story, Jabari's feelings have changed. Do you agree? How do you think Jabari's feeling now? And why do you think that? Yeah. Travis, what do you think? So now, let's go back to our YouTube workbooks and add this to the middle part of the story. So now let's add to our YouTube workbook how Jabari is feeling in the middle of the story. We said Jabari is feeling nervous to jump off of the diving board now. So you can pause the screen now and add this to your notebook, and then we'll keep reading. Let's keep reading to see if his feelings change again. It's okay to feel a little scared, said his dad. Sometimes if I feel a little scared, I take a deep breath and tell myself I am ready. And you know what? Sometimes it stops feeling scary and feels a little like a surprise. Jabari loved surprises. Jabari took a deep breath and felt it fill his body from the ends of his hair right down to the tips of his toes. Jabari looked up. He began to climb up and up and up and up until he got to the top. Jabari stood up straight. He walked all the way to the end of the board. Wow, he's being really courageous right now. I had to think of a trait word. This really reminds me of Molly Llewellyn from that story we read last week. He's showing that he's very courageous because he was feeling scared, but he's going to go up and try something really challenging and hard anyway. His toes curled around the rough edge. Oh my goodness. Remember when we visualized for that story, Come On Rain? Right now I'm visualizing what it would be like to be Jabari, standing with my toes curled on the edge, looking way down, down, down into the pool. Oh man, he must be feeling nervous still. I wonder what he's going to do. Let's find out. Jabari looked out as far as he could see. He felt like he was ready. I love surprises, he whispered. He took a deep breath and spread his arms and bent his knees. Then he sprang up off the board, flying. Oh, I'm already noticing something that's different. He's smiling. I don't think he's so nervous anymore. Jabari hit the water with a splash. Down, down, down he went, and then back up. Whoosh! Oh man, he looks like he's having so much fun. That makes me want to go to the swimming pool right now. How about you? Do you like to jump into the swimming pool? Jabari, you did it, said his dad. I did it, said Jabari. I'm a great jumper. And you know what? What, said his dad. Surprise double backflip is next. Oh, so how have his feelings changed? Now I know you're going to be tempted to say Jabari's happy. But remember, we've been working on thinking about feeling words that are even more specific. Happy, sad, mad. Those are okay feeling words to use, but they're a little bit boring. Now, can you think of some other words to describe how Jabari is feeling? If you have another word, shout it out. Or you can write it down on your paper for how he's feeling at the end. You know what I was thinking? I'm thinking he's proud. He's proud of himself because he did something that he was afraid to do. Did anyone think of that same feeling word? Now, another word I'm thinking of is another word to describe when you're feeling very happy. That word is delighted. And when I go back to this page, I definitely notice. And when I go back to this page, I definitely see and can tell by the expressions on Jabari's face and his dad's face and his little sister's face that they're all very happy or delighted because they're having so much fun in the pool. And they're also feeling very proud of Jabari. So let's go back to our notebooks and write this all down. So now last, let's add how Jabari's feeling at the end of the story. We said now Jabari is feeling proud and delighted that he jumped. So you can pause the screen one last time while you write this down and add it to your workbook. Okay, so now it's your turn. Just like last week, it's your turn to find a fiction book that you have at your house. Maybe it's a book you can find on Epic. I want you to read that book on your own, just like in Reading Workshop. Then I want you to use the bottom half of this page to fill out how the character in your story changed from the beginning to the middle to the end. Happy reading, and I'll see you next time. Bye.